Hello. I literally don't have a plan of what I'm going to say in this video, but I thought that I did need to sit down and talk to you. There has been a lot on my mind and on my heart for the last several years that I haven't been able to share fully anywhere to anyone except besides Michael, obviously. But I had a really hard time with the idea of making this video because I decided not to show too much of my vulnerable side at one point, especially online, because of what I was going through with my depression, my postpartum depression, as well as like all of the distress that I was experiencing. I didn't want that to transfer through the content and cause you distress. So I decided to close off that side of me. And it actually was one of my mentors that encouraged me to make this video. I was talking about how I didn't really feel connected with my friends. I didn't feel connected with my family. I didn't feel connected with you. And they said, you just have to talk about it. Just be open. It's okay to be afraid of how people will take the information, and you can't really do anything about people's opinions, but I'm just going to trust the belief that I know this is what's going to be best for me, and it'll also give you more clarity into some of the things that happened to me the last few years that really affected my mental health and caused a lot of change in me, and also caused a lot of the distance that I felt between what I was sharing in my content, what I was experiencing on my day-to-day, everyday life. And I just hope that this video, even if it were to help one person, if you're going through something similar that I went through, or if you Zeke, he's doing his homework in front of me. He's just like, why is she suddenly crying in front of the camera? He's laughing. Zeke, you want to say some words to Nacho Fam?
Why are you feeling sad?
I'm not feeling sad. I'm just a little scared to talk about all of the things, the difficult things that happened to me. But I think it's important to share because the whole reason why I made this channel is because I had nowhere to share. I had no community. And I wanted to find community because there was nowhere else except online in my life. And so I want this video to be kind of a really just like genuine, open conversation. Even if it were to bring light into anyone's circumstances, or even if it were to help you understand a little bit more what I went through, so that if there's anyone else going through something similar in your loved ones' lives, that you may have more knowledge or awareness, or that you're more equipped to provide support. Because in the end, it's all about community. We are so social, and we're such a community-based group of beings that we just can't without community. And that's something that's been hard for me the past several years. I was in the middle of having my snacks, and I was like, you know what? ASMR. I'll just have my snacks while I talk to you. Even making this video was so hard. It took me more than a week to actually film when I planned to film this video and talk through all this. But I had been encouraged to make this video from my mentor literally like months ago. It was on my mind for months, like since the end of last summer. But I'm finally sitting here. I was like, you know what? I can't make the space. I can't make the time to sit down and film it all glamorous. I'm literally just gonna bring my camera around with me all day. Whenever I have a pocket to actually just chat with you and have this conversation, then that's when I'll just do it. Cause I'm so, I feel like I'm stretching myself. So anyway, that's another topic. My ADHD. So as I'm sitting here having my snacks, I'm like, you know what? Zeke needs my computer for his homework. We only have one computer here. Might as well use that as a break. It's like an excuse to have a break from the work that I need to do on my computer and just sit down and go through all this. That's like the longest intro ever. But I don't care. 7-minute intro, who cares? If this video ends up being 2 hours long, like, it will be my longest video. I don't even remember how long my longest video was, but I do have some list of things here on my phone that I wanted to specifically talk through, just to share more of who I was, more of who I am, and more of who I want to be with you, in order for us to realign. Not that you or anyone deserves the rights to know everything about me, but I think it's only fair for me to share my goals, my pains, my excitements, things that I'm looking forward to, so that it's only fair to myself in my own journey of growth, so that I can have you be accountable for the commitments that I would need to make to reach these goals, the commitments that I would need to actually deliver and execute to see the change and growth that I want to keep growing into. And it's honestly only fair to you that you have a little bit more visibility in why I've been the way I've been and what makes me me. Especially because we're so grateful for not only your support, like, on the channel, but, like, Zeke is looking at me. I'm honestly so grateful that, like, through my whole life, this is, like, so sad to say, but, like, I'm so grateful that you guys have been there for me when, like, no one else has. Like, things that my family was supposed to say to me, the things that, like, my friends or my community should have supported me, and like I've only really received it from you. I'm such a loser. And like I was at a event, right? It was like a really inspiring, encouraging event, and it was about finding joy in your life. And the keynote speaker was talking about how her son passed away because of this neurological disorder that he had in his nervous system, and he couldn't live up to his first birthday. But she was sharing how she really took that opportunity to give him joy. Like, for every day that he was alive, they just threw parties. Like, okay, you have this diagnosis, you have this inevitable, most likely inevitable 99.9% result. It's going to happen. I mean, we're all going to expire, right? But like, what can we do within this time? Like, how can we love, share love, grow, and provide like the most joyful experience that this child could ever have? You know what I mean? And during one of the sections that she was covering, she was talking about community and how a lot of the time oh my gosh, I'm so ugly. A lot of the time we're really afraid. Zakia, will you be able to get me a cup of water, please? Thank you so much. Yeah, you can have one.
No, what about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe later. Thank you. A lot of us, we are afraid to ask for help in our community. I mean, even I believe like with capitalism, with the Industrial Revolution, like we've been taught and trained to be individualistic and to support just the system. We're not really encouraged to, and we're not even educated on how we can develop community, how we can deepen community, how we can live in community. And I think that's to the advantage of capitalism, because it's like, that's what truly makes people happy. One of the longest studies in the world, oh my gosh, I'm literally talking like so chaotically, but this is my true thought process, okay? One of the, I feel like my nose is running. The longest studies in the world that was performed over, I think, like 3 or 4 generations. It was so long that it had to be handed off to like multiple projects and experiments, like managers or like the main people who like deal with it, right? It was about happiness. In someone's whole life, they followed children, babies, from when they were born all the way until they die. What are the characteristics and what are the things that actually contribute to happiness? And literally, no matter your financial situation, no matter your resources, no matter trauma, no matter what you ate, no matter your background, no matter like any crises that you face, no matter anything, like even like pets or family members or family size or whatever, the only thing that contributed to the level of happiness that you experience is meaningful relationships. And isn't that the summary of community? So this lady, her name is Jessica Jansen, and she's one of the most. Yeah, Jessica, your friend's name is also Jessica, right? She, like, I literally only saw her speak once, that one time. Immediately, I was like, role model. She is one of my role models now. She's a philanthropist. The happiness study. Oh, I remember now. She said that the way that you experience joy is through resilience. And resilience can be practiced through 4 steps, through radical acceptance of whatever you're facing. You know, it is what it is. And you are radically accepting that. It's the truth. The second is, I have my notes. Literally, this clipboard has been following me around. It's like damaged because it's got water damage on it. It's got like flipping damage. The realization that you have the choice to choose, the ability to choose. So you're not just like paralyzed and like, oh my gosh, this is happening and I can't do anything. Like, no, you have choices to choose. And your mind has an average of 60,000 thoughts per day based on a doctor from Stanford. His name is Fred Luskin. My writing is so messy. But from 2 million data points of like sensing, like what we hear, what we see, what we feel, all of this information that our brain takes in per day, 2 million, our minds will come up with an average of 60,000 thoughts in a day. I think like women have more, but because we think more. No, I'm just kidding. But the really interesting thing is that she said, after you choose or realize that you have the choice, then you have to have relentless belief in the possibilities and the future that you want from that situation. And you have to see the evidences of what you are choosing to believe. And that in itself is literally manifestation. Like, you believing something and believing in yourself and believing in that possibility of what you want it to be leads you to the thoughts and the actions that actually will cause the result. And then the last thing that leads you to resilience and joy is the consistent action, whatever it is, however small it is, it's what elevates you to the next chapter. And she said that the community is what takes you the distance, and community is literally like what we need to survive. Because even with all this, without community, you won't be able to do anything on your own. And she said that during that time, she really had to swallow her pride and just ask for help, because it was such a difficult time for her that literally, like, someone coming by with groceries was that much of a huge help, because they were staying at the hospital for 4 months straight while her baby was in the resuscitation ward. And I think this is something that was really hard for Michael and I to do, because we were always afraid that if we asked for help, it would be really bad. We didn't want to seem like people who were taking advantage of others by asking for help. And just like being a teen mom in general, like, do I really want to perpetuate the negativity that comes with that? And it was like, it's even hard asking our parents for help, or our siblings for help, or our friends for help. So it was really hard the last 10 years since we've been parents, because we've just been hustling it through. We have each other, we have our kids. We ask our kids for help a lot. Hence the cup of water. Thank you, Zeke. Thank you. I love you. He's getting me. When you're ready, you can read your book upstairs. Why are you grossed out at my makeup? His face is just why is it black and orange? Oh my gosh. Intermission. Thank you, Sid. You're the best. Thank you. You got this for me. So, it was really hard for us to ask for help, especially during the pandemic, and even shortly right before, for $3 to 5 years. It was really hard because we realized that asking for help doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you judgeable, even though some people will. It's actually what we need. We need community and we need help as people. Something that really stood out to me. I sent it to Michael. Let me find it. I was shook when I saw this. I sent it to him during the presentation. I took a picture and I sent it. So Adam Grant says that people are happier to help than we expect. The data shows that we overestimate how inconvenienced they'll feel and underestimate how valued they feel. Asking for help isn't always a burden. It's often an opportunity to help others feel capable and useful. Seeking help is an expression of trust. And I think maybe this had to play into it, how Michael and I felt like we couldn't really trust people not to take it the wrong way when we did ask for help, so we never really asked anyone for help. And the very last time I think I asked for help from you guys was when I was going to Korea to see my sister for the first time. And we were Michael and I, we both come from poverty. To the point where all our parents have when they pass away is enough to cover the funerals. And our parents have been in debt, and it's just we already started off kind of not in the greatest situations. And I really wanted to make this trip happen to reconnect with my family in Korea, especially my sister. And that was the first and only time that I ran anything crowdfunded. And even then I felt really bad doing it. Even though I really appreciated all the support and help there was another thing that she said during her keynote. She said, Les Brown says ask for help not because you are weak, but because you want to remain strong. And I think that takes like a huge amount of humility and vulnerability to be in a place where you actually need to ask for help. And she was saying that the community is showing up for others, but it's also asking for help and accepting it. And the ways that we believe that we could use some help, those are the ways that we can show up for people in our community and to support them and develop that. I'm literally just holding the Zeke, I think this is gonna melt. Let me put it back. I'll eat it later, okay? Thanks so much. So I think like that was really hard for us, just like the concept of asking for help. And even when I was so happy and thankful whenever like you guys bought our merch and supported us in that way. But like we priced it as low as it could go, like literally like basically no profit. We priced it, let's say like it costs $12 to make a shirt. We priced it like $14 or something like that. Like just enough to cover the fees. And I always felt bad even just talking about it or talking about anything that like felt like it would be taking away from someone else, even though that's not the case. So I wanted to share more about my channel and my goals for my channel, my goals for myself within this community online. As well as like how I can ask for your help. Even though it's so hard, like my body is literally rejecting it right now. The reason why I made my YouTube channel, like I kind of touched upon earlier, was because I had no community. I really believe that as a child I had manic depression because it was only 2020 that I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder at a moderate range. And as a child, I was always so in despair all the time when I was alone. But when I was with people, I would be extremely manic because I'm just so excited to be with people. So I'd be screaming, jumping off the walls, like going crazy. But obviously that's crazy, right? So I was so unhinged. Everyone knew I was weird. Like they called me mental. Like I was weird. I was wrong. Like I was not right. I was not okay. I was not healthy. And I didn't have the support that I would have needed back then because I had no parents. Like my father was abusive, my birth father, as most of you know from like some of you may know from my previous videos where I'm very open about it. But my mother working 11 hours. Like, I always portray it in a really, like, nice way online. But honestly, I have so much anger and resentment towards her for neglecting me. And it spills over into, like, the way that we communicate, like, the things that I say to her, and just the way that, like, I'm unable to maintain a good relationship with her. And at this point, like, she's just dead to me. Like, I just came to a point in my life where she's not the mother that I needed. She's not the mother that I wanted. And from this point on, literally, like, last summer when I was in Korea with her, I kicked her out of my Airbnb because she was so disrespectful. I'm like, you don't have the right to neglect me, to never make any effort to understand me, even when I'm, like, yelling it out for you to hear, even when I'm, like, respectfully writing you a letter, and to disrespect me in the Airbnb, in the place that I'm paying for you and for me. Like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve a mother like this. And I was like, at this point, it's honestly better to have a dead mother. So, like, I lost all of my respect and affection for her during that time. And to me, she's just the grandmother of my kids. She's a really great grandma. That's what that's what Michael kind of thought through and encouraged me in. Like, I'll acknowledge that. But even now, she's not a very good mother to me. She doesn't listen to me. She just thinks about her own feelings. Do I do that to you, Zeke? No? Okay, that's good. Tell me if I ever do that, okay? Because I don't want you to feel that way. Oops, my boogers.
The purple's winning, but I thought the green is winning. The purple is winning.
So, I made my YouTube channel because I had no friends. They all would lie to me and meet each other on their own. And ask me what my point was when I'm sharing things that I did that day.
This one will. This candy will. No.
I was bullied in 3rd grade, and I don't remember if I talked about this in a video. I think I briefly touched on it. But it was so bad to the point where, like, everyone in this friend group of, like, 4 girls, they all, maybe like 5 girls, they all really liked me. But because they were following the lead of the girl who was the closest to me in my neighborhood, in terms of, like, how close we lived in housing, she was kind of the ringleader, and she would insult me, encourage everyone else to do that. I was skinnier than Zeke. I was malnourished. I was eating off Salvation Army. we were living in like a tiny, like baby's bedroom with boxes and literally like no space to walk, just our bed. And she would say things like, "You're fatter than all of us combined." For what? And she has the nerve to message me shortly after COVID and be like, "Oh, hey, you want to come to our church to talk?" No, I don't anymore. Because you still haven't apologized about that. Or how you coerced me in your closet, making me think that you're going to treat me nicely finally at school. But instead you just use me for whatever sick... So no, don't contact me if you see this. I came to this point where I'm like, if I don't deserve what they're doing to me and what they did to me, they don't deserve who I am. Like, I'm not going to be a people pleaser anymore. Like, I snapped. Anyways, I feel like this should not be pretzels and nut butter. I feel like this should be like soju right now. But I can't drink because my antidepressants mixed with alcohol makes me suicidal. What I need more than alcohol is toilet paper. So, after that 6 months of horror, I moved schools. And I never wanted that to ever happen to me again. So, I kind of, as a defensive mechanism, became extremely unhinged and also very like alpha, because I didn't want anyone else to take advantage of me like that and bully me like that and come to my window, throw rocks and laugh when I come to the window with their friends, or force me off their TV when I'm over to play and play house in their closet. Like, girl, what were you seeing in your house? And at the same time, I feel bad for her because, like, perhaps she was also a victim. But that doesn't make it right. We should have had better supervision. So, it came to a point where, like, if anyone offended me, if anyone did anything, I became like a defensive shell made out of, I became like coronavirus, a defensive shell made out of spikes. And, like, I will smack you. I would, back in grade 4, 5, 6, 7. I would smack you if you said anything, did anything I didn't like. Give you some physical discipline. But obviously that caused me to have a really difficult social life. I had no friends who truly
liked you and loved you?
Yeah.
bullies.
Yeah. And I had no family. So that's why I made this YouTube channel. It's because I had no friends. Except you guys. So thank you for being my friend. I really look like a loser right now. Honestly, first it was because, like, I spent a lot of time watching YouTube. I really connected to the creators that I liked. And I had so much fun. Like, there were so many fun things on YouTube. I used to watch, like, comedy, like Ninahika. And I used to watch Wong Fu and all of the beauty gurus back then. The OGs, like Michelle Phan, Bob's Beauty. There were so many more. I even won giveaways. I remember I won the Naked palette right when the first version came out. I was so happy. I won like a video contest. Like, most of my joy I experienced through YouTube and the community on YouTube. I got really into beauty. I really loved beauty product reviews and makeup tutorials. My mom's a hairstylist, but I think like the art side kind of really plays into that. And for me, I love the art of just drawing faces on faces. So I started making beauty videos because I really loved the beauty community on YouTube, and I wanted to contribute somehow. And I also just wanted to enjoy it. It was fun, and it still is fun. I just love fun things. I also started uploading videos because at that time I didn't know it, but it was a lot to do with my mental health and my lack of community and just seeking relationship. It was just like the way that I could find relationship and the possibility of relationships in my life. And the reason why I continued sharing my story online, because initially I was making beauty videos, like reviews and tutorials, but I started sharing more of my life once we had Galahad, because teen pregnancy is not common, but it's especially rare in the Korean community. And I knew there was no one talking about this. No one was making teen mom vlogs. Even like the TV show was so controversial back then, like 10 years ago. But I knew that there had to be someone to share that it's not all awful. And for anyone who's going through it too, that there is hope, there's joy, there's peace, and that they're not alone. Because I definitely felt alone. My battery's about to die. I'm gonna have to go get a new one. I think. Oh, did you hear that? It was like an internal burp. I think I definitely continue to share my story because I know that other people are experiencing hardship and even worse than what I went through. But I just didn't want them to feel the way that I did. So, I want to share my mission and vision with you for my channel and for my life. I think it's great. It's a great thing. Oh, good job. You're finished? You can read 20 minutes now. Why don't you bring a book down here and you can look at the clock? My mission with this YouTube channel was, like what I said, I just wanted to be available as a resource, as kind of a reference point to anyone who may have gone through similar things as me, or who may be going through similar things that I was, who may be interested in similar things like makeup, nails, or hair, and just enjoy it. Enjoy life. I think that's still my mission now. But I stopped being able to deliver it because the other things that I went through right before and right after the pandemic, that kind of pushed me to get my diagnosis with my psychotherapist. Which I'll touch on in a bit. My vision for my YouTube channel, I didn't really have one back then. I do have one now, which I want to share with you also. But I stopped. Because I got addicted to a game. Maple Story. It was really bad. I got addicted, not because of the game, but because I made a guild with my friend. And I made so many friends in that guild. And I never had that before. So I dropped everything, and that's all I did. Every waking minute, I was just playing this stupid game and talking to my friends in that friend group. I wasn't working. I stopped uploading. I used to upload 6 videos a week. I stopped uploading for 2 months. That's I can't do math, but I'm pretty sure that's 6 times 8, whatever that is. Do you know what 6 times 8 is?
What is mine?
You're which one?
I can't. I want to say building technique.
Yeah.
Add another account and also sign in.
You have to press the higher one here. I spent $200. No, I didn't spend $200. I spent $200 on BTS, Superstar BTS, because I wanted the special cards. I wasn't addicted to that game. I was kind of addicted to that game. But there was no friends in that game. I was just addicted because of BTS. And also I love beat games. But I spent so many hours, Michael, he was like, okay, you know it's a problem when you, who cannot wake up, for you take 30 minutes to an hour to wake up. Cool. I forgot what I was talking about again. I forgot.
It's only games and
Oh, MapleStory. So, yeah, I was addicted to MapleStory for 2 years. I don't know, not 2 years. Oh my gosh. I was 2 months. 2 months. I was addicted for 2 months. And then I had this moment where I was watching YouTube videos. I was on the home feed of my YouTube app and I saw my video with someone else's face on it because the thumbnail was exactly the same. And I told my friends and I was like, oh, like, I think she copied my thumbnail. Like, literally it was the same. And I made a video about it, but we decided to bury the situation because we didn't want more drama from it. And she already got all the drama she wanted from the situation. Yes? Here, pass me. My friends from the MapleStory group, they were like, yeah, that's a total copy. You should submit a claim through YouTube. I looked if it was possible. It was possible. There was a section for the thumbnail and the artwork that it was, copied from my copyrights. And so I submitted a claim. I didn't know the video was going to get taken down. But it did. And she was a much larger creator on Instagram. And she posted to her stories. She sent me a message. In her stories, she said, like, this girl copy striked me. Like, all my hard work. And she messaged me 20 minutes before she posted to her stories. She said, like, oh, I got this notification for copyright. Can you please tell me more details? I'm not really sure what happened. Then 20 minutes later, she posts on her stories saying, this girl copy striked me, all for a fucking thumbnail. What a switch up. Yes? Yeah, you can read that one. Okay, read that one. That one's one of my favorite series. We decided not to talk about it anymore. Ever since, like, we came to an agreement to just stop all of it. But she, at that time, like, it was really hard for me at that time because I never experienced such a direct attack, and I should have known it wasn't because of me that she did that. It was because her channel was a drama channel. It was right up her alley. All the mean, scary, angry messages and comments. There were over 1,200 messages and comments of harassment, bullying, and defamation. I screenshotted all of them, so I still have them, just for legal safety. But I did consult a lawyer. I consulted a few about the whole situation. And I never had such an immense amount of rage targeted to me from thousands of people all at once, like death threats, insulting my children. Like full heckling to the max. But honestly, I'm really grateful. Looking back now, I wouldn't have been able to. I needed to get out of the obsession spell I was under. And I really believe that God changes you, and sometimes He does it through pain. But we came to agreement to just bury this because her friend, who's also an owner of a drama channel, got involved. You know, she was making YouTube videos about it, like clickbaiting, like addressing the Nami Cho situation and everything. I asked her to take that down. I asked her to take some other stuff down. She didn't. She blocked me. It's fine, whatever. She got her news story of the week. I realized later that all of those people that sent me those messages, death threats and mean comments and all that rage, maybe they didn't do it because they're evil people. I only realized this year. Maybe they were just having fun. I would never have fun like that. But maybe that's just their fun. I think perhaps I was too serious. It's not that serious. Even though it affected me so much. And I had so much anxiety. I was pregnant with Mina too, and she was born with anxiety because of how much anxiety I had during my pregnancy. I had my comments notifications enabled. Every time my phone would ding, I had like a sinking dread of what words I'd see next on my phone screen. It was really hard. But you know what's ironic? What was harder was came after that. What came after that? I had a close friend. We were so close. So close. We got close because of love bombing. We continued to stay close due to isolation, emotional manipulation, hot and cold. I was bending over backwards for this friend. A lot of lies, based on grandiosity and narcissism, a lot of emotional abuse, a lot of purposeful disregard of my boundaries, clearly set. You can vlog while you're here. I'll be, breastfeeding my baby. I'll be just recovering from a C-section. I may be changing. I may be, in a vulnerable state. You're free to film or vlog because I know that's your work. But please just make sure that you don't include my nudity. She's taking pictures of my boobs. Oh, I'll put a monkey emoji sticker on it. No. I must be dumb. I must be stupid. The heck is wrong with me? A pretzel, you want some? No, I'm not eating the microphone. You're so funny. Ring, ring, ring. Hi, what's up? Hey, are you busy? I'm about to go to sleep. We'll have like 5 minutes to talk. What do you want to chat about? Multiple times try to gracefully exit. 5 hours later. I am dumb! And also my friend not only didn't respect my boundaries, but enjoyed, I believe, purposefully watching me squirm in those areas where I specifically, just like purposeful stomping on boundaries for some narcissistic personality disorder reason. I had to just cut them off, along with like half of the people that I was following on Instagram. Just so many people not healthy for me. The most unhealthy of them being myself, who I was unable to maintain the appropriate amount of distance or closeness with others. I think that sentence was totally fragmented, but that was what my train of thought said. Ziggy, yeah? Would you be able to sit on the gray couch? Or you can still read out loud over there. It'll be more comfortable. Oh, it's just because your voice might go in my microphone. Yeah, thanks so much. I love you. Thank you, lovely. Cutie, I love him. Then my depression got really bad because I was so mentally and emotionally reliant on this friend because of the narcissistic abuse, the constant love bombing, the hot and cold, the gaslighting, the isolation, the passive aggressiveness. I lost my emotional abuser, but I also lost my best friend. And I was going through postpartum depression. My depression was so bad. I made a video on it about, how I'm journeying through my mental health. I had to get a diagnosis because I was just suffering every day. Like, I just either sleep for 15 hours with hypersomnia, where I would be staying up for like 2.5 days straight because of insomnia. Every 15 minutes, I just have my head in my knees, just fighting the thoughts of just ending it. Every single day for months. I talked to my family doctor. I went to a conference that Michael was speaking at. It was a wellness conference. He was, ironically, he was talking about video game addiction, and he held a seminar about that. There were other workshops. I decided to go to the one about depression. I just wanted to learn more. What kind of resources, what kind of information is out there that I can be a support? Nope. That seminar and workshop was for me. I went because I wanted to support other people. Nope. I spoke to Michael's, one of Michael's contacts that was speaking at this conference, the workshop about depression. And I told him, like, I think I might need some support. What can I do? I just asked him because I had no one to ask. He referred me to a psychiatrist that he knew. Yes, actually in 2 minutes, but you're fine to stop now. Thanks. You can play something. You can play anything you like right now, and then once Mom's done filming this video, then we can go biking. Okay? Thanks so much. Wow, you read a lot. Good job. What would you like to play?
On the computer.
Alright.
If I get bored, I will just watch.
Okay.
Or something.
Alright. The password's the same as the other computers.
Let's see. Ready?
Yeah.
G?
No.
W,
Starts with P. No. Yeah.
P?
What?
What did you write?
Yeah,
What did you write?
it's the same password.
I forgot.
Zeke, I'm trying to find the video. He gave me the contact for one of his friends who's a psychiatrist, and I asked my family doctor to refer me to him. I had an intake. He diagnosed me on the spot and prescribed me with antidepressants. I'm still working on adjusting my dosage. I have been on a set dosage for a year now that I've been regularly taking, but I always adjust it with my family doctor. I started off small, like a third of what I'm taking now. I took that dosage for a year. I took a break because I just wanted to relax. I did less work. I took it easy. Oh.
It's this way.
Why isn't it working?
Should I just watch them?
Just do that.
This is nothing. Why not?
It just goes to YouTube. Make sure it's something educational, okay? Is that alright? So yes, Mom.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Oh, I just need it to be a little bit more quiet. Like very, very quiet. Like one bar.
Let's see.
Please and thank you. So for a year I was off my meds. I was just taking it easy. At the time we were on Canadian emergency, something about COVID. It was just like universal income support. So that helped out a lot in terms of taking it easy. Then when I started wrapping up my work again, the stress was causing my depression and emotional irregularity to flare up. So I went back on my antidepressants. I took double the dosage that I was on before, and then I raised it up a third until the dosage that I'm on now. I think I'll probably be staying on it until I die. It's just something that I have to cope with. Unless, of course, like my lifestyle becomes less stressful, then I may be able to either lower my dosage or, take a break or whatever. But for now, with the workload that I have, the stress load that I have, I think it's just something that just became part of my life, which I'm very grateful for. I'm really glad that we have technological advances. The funny thing is, like my family and friends, they were not supportive of my antidepressants. It's ironic what people say to you when they're so misinformed about mental health and mental health disorders. Like my brain literally cannot receive serotonin floating around. So I have to take a medication that allows the function of my serotonin to move. Like if someone were to have a malfunctioning heart valve that pushes blood the opposite direction and they get surgery for that, then they're supported, fully supported, they're encouraged and whatever. But when it comes to the brain, it's unfortunate how much more we have to do to normalize brain issues. Anyway, my friends at that time as well, especially from church, were, I should have been receiving the most amount of support. There was the least amount of support for my mental health, or even just social health as well. I mentioned this in other videos, but hearing things like, you love your family too much, you rely on your husband too much, if you didn't have him there, then you just get up and do things yourself, whether you're depressed or not. No, ma'am, I'd be dead. Very much literally. I would have offed myself. Even with my husband, I consider it multiple times a year because of my condition. You know what's more stupid than that comment? Is the fact that I sat there smiling and nodding. Or hearing things like, do you think you're better than us now that you're famous? Ma'am, I'm depressed. Why are you so withdrawn? Why are you so distant? Ma'am, I'm fighting suicidal thoughts every 15 minutes. It's not about you. Seriously. Or like when I'm sharing about my social issues, about my community connection issues, about my mental health. I'm like, I'm scared to spend time with these people because I'm scared that like they're going to be saying these things, and like I'm scared to put my feet in like water because there's like piranhas. And then I'm told like, piranhas? Whoa, they're not piranhas. Ma'am, I'm just using a figure of speech to explain how I'm feeling. And you're defending people who I'm being hurt by right now. It makes me so mad. Anyway, I've been better. While I was going through all that, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, I couldn't share that with you. It was so hard, and I didn't want to hurt you with what was hurting me. And even though it's really hard to talk about it now, I feel like I'm more ready now. You know, sometimes with big changes in your life, you can never be ready. You can never really fully be ready to be married or have kids or change careers or buy a house. You can never really be fully ready. But it's that last decision of moving forward. Sometimes you just have to take the leap of faith. Just dive in the water. You can find out if there are piranhas later. That's life, right? I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep hiding myself from you. Going back to what the keynote speaker, Jessica Jansen, was talking about community. She was telling us, think of the people. Think of your people. Who is there that you can ask for support from? Who is there that you trust? That you can show up for? That you can be there for? For Michael, the last 3 months have been really hard for us. And his family has really shown up. Really, really, really been there. Even when we didn't ask for help, as the inflation rates are hitting, as the tech and retail industries are hitting, recession's hitting. There were some legal issues that we had to consult lawyers for, all happening at once. Things were really hard. And we've just received so much support from his family. And when I was sharing about the presentation, he was writing down a list of people who he could possibly ask for help from, and a list of people that he could reach out to and show support to and provide support for. Building that community and being there for each other. That's how you survive. He had a whole list of his family, his friends, his friends of friends that he supports through free counseling. And I literally just had one word on my list. And it's not like a self-pity party thing. I'm just so grateful. And also so sad that I haven't been. What are you watching? Can you watch something educational, please? Silly. And Michael had on his list a bunch of family friends, all these names. He asked me, who can you ask help from? And who can you show up for to support? And I literally, the only one word name that came to mind was Nacho Fat. I only have you. And like, people come and go in your life. I still cherish every moment, every good moment that I've had with previous loved ones. I say previous because a lot of them are no longer my loved ones. But I still really cherish the memories that I have and the experiences that I have had with them as my former loved ones. I can't afford that anymore. I can't afford the cost that came with those relationships to my mental health, to my emotional health, to my familial health. But I really want to be here. I really want to continue connecting with you the way that I wasn't able to, the way that I did, the reason why I started this channel for. I can't do this surviving anymore. I want to live. I want to live. I want to share with you. I want to enjoy every moment of it. I don't want to just suffer and survive. And I want to force a page turn. I want to stop this and grow. I'm making this video partly because I want to share with you, be open, and give you more visibility. But I also need to ask for your support and your accountability in my dedication to the person I am, the person I want to be able to show up for you on this channel and with this community that literally is like, other than my kids and Michael, like literally, you've done so much for me, and I don't want to feel bad for not being there for you the way that I want to. And I also don't want to feel bad for asking for your support and accountability. I do want to resume creating fun content, meaningful content, sharing the stories and the life that I'm facing with you. And I hope I will upload a video every week, but I hope to upload a video 3 to 6 times a week. Honestly, that would be really great if I can just be me again. And be with you again. In the future, Michael and I do want to adopt orphaned children, and we did share this here and there on like some live streams or some other videos answering your questions. But I hope that as I go through this journey together with you, that we can really grow and we can really be at a place, be the people that would be able to hold that vision, to be capable of living that vision. There are so many orphans in the world. This is an area that we both have a heart for. My teen pregnancy, perhaps, was a blessing in the way where we can really do that when our kids are already empty nested. They'll be in their teens. Galahad will be in his teens in 3 years. I'll be 31. We have so many years ahead to be able to do this. But we really need to be the people that are able to. And for that, I do need to, and I want to keep growing. And I really, really hope that you can keep me accountable to that. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey, for listening in on my stories. I hope that I can continue to hear what you're going through, or even just hear your stories. That's like my light of the day is to learn more about you, to learn more about my kids. That's it. Kind of boring, but really, really meaningful. Thank you for giving me joy and for contributing to my life's happiness. Sending you lots of hugs, and I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.